आपको नीरज क्लिनिक के बारे में कैसे पता लगा?
मेरी वैसे मुलाकात सचिन से 3 साल पहले हुई थी एंड ही वॉज एक्चुअली nearly he was immigrating into Canada और हम लोग वहाँ मिले and such his seizures increased. वहाँ allopathic पहले भी allopathic medicines ले रहे थे and as time went by his seizures increased, so we went to the local doctor over there जो वहाँ के neurosurgeon है और उन्होंने मुलाकात की और they recommended, they actually asked him what kind of medicines he was on and क्या medicines उनको चाहिए. So of course that was मेरा ये पहला तजुर्बा था of meeting a doctor who was dealing with epilepsy and surprisingly he asked Sachin what kind of medicines and what he thought was suitable for him, which quite shocked me because in something like that where the brain is concerned you would believe that the doctors know a lot more. In the last 2 years as time has gone by his seizures have they increased a lot. तो of course अब ये question था कि हम लोग normal life कर सकेंगे या नहीं. तो सचिन ने एक दिन मेरे को कहा कि वो that has happened in Rishikesh at Neeraj Clinic. He says कि उसने उनके medicine and he was absolutely seizure free. So of course I'm pretty apprehensive. I come from a family of doctors, mame, chache, sab doctors हैं वैसे मासीs and they're doctors around the world. But the fact that he hadn't got seizures was news to me. So I asked him why didn't he carry on, and he said he couldn't have access to the medicines in 2004. He went to the Gulf to work in the oil industry और वहाँ local doctors से allopathy medicine ली इन्होंने. And I think he had seizures over there also. But coming to Canada बहुत increase हो गए. So we were both quite shocked कि अभी आगे कैसे जाएंगे, what we should do. So he suddenly came home one day, जिसके वजह से 6 साल तक मेरे को सीजर नहीं आया और मैं अपनी इंजीनियरिंग की डिग्री खत्म कर सका. If it wasn't for him, he wouldn't have been able to be where he is today. As simple as that, because he wouldn't be able to study continuously. So we kind of stopped everything around us and we decided कि I think it's time to go back home. And Sachin, we went on the net and we looked out epilepsy India का Sachin ने click किया. We went to see. So मैं थोड़ी शकी हूँ तो मैंने I looked for testimonial, looked for letters actually. कि कहाँ I wanted to find out more about because it's scary. It has to do with the brain. And Sachin had complete confidence. So we didn't waste time. हम लोगों ने तकरीबन 15 दिन में program set किया and we came to India. We've been here for about 5 days. So Neeraj Clinic में हम लोग जब आए, we looked out for Neeraj Clinic. We looked out for testimonials. I actually called up. मैंने UK के consulate में phone किया कि is this, because it's something that it seems like a miracle. It does seem like something that should not be happening as per allopathy medicine. So we checked, but I know one thing is Sachin was sure that all he wanted to do was get to he's in the US and he was coming to Canada और हमारा भी उसी वक्त I mean I don't know if it's coincidence, लेकिन everything since the last 3 months has been conducive to this meeting that has happened in Rishikesh at Neeraj Clinic. Or Sachin went completely or medicine change ki, and I am completely shocked. I'm just surprised as to what's happening. Weaning off the allopathy medicine, and that has happened in Rishikesh at Neeraj Clinic. and Sachin's like seventh heaven. It's like a complete new life, new birth. तो हम लोग आज सुबह बात कर रहे थे कि it's like reborn, complete new life again. And for him, it means that he can have a normal life. He can dream of whatever he wants to do. He's midway in his career and he has lots of plans, but he wasn't sure he wants to study. But now I think we can go ahead. अगर नीरज क्लिनिक नहीं होती, इतने डर गए हुए थे हम लोग कि I was like, Sachin, it's time to go home. Canada को छोड़, we can't be outside the country. We need to go home and sit quietly in a space without, all your dreams need to stop for a bit because you can't work when you're stressed, and the stress brings on the seizures. So without this intervention, a new life would not have been possible. So all I can say is this information needs to get to as many people as possible. I am completely shocked. मैं तो चुपचाप 4 दिनों से quietly घूम रही हूँ यहाँ ऋषिकेश में, यही सोच के कि what part I had in this I don't know, but I am so excited to be a witness to something like that. You hear about this, you think it's like magical stories, but I can't imagine that I'm part of this. And this is happening right in my presence. And a friend of mine who was looking for a new life has eventually got it. And I think this is a testimony that something is working here fantastically and it needs to get out there, and more people need to have access to the clinic and whatever it can give to the people who come here to look for a new life here. And that's all I have to say here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hanging on and keeping the confidence, because we need people like you in a big way, in a huge way. So when Sachin gets his seizures, his shoulder comes out and he's taken to the hospital. They have no idea what's happening with him. They give him 3 medicines, really high doses, and the doctor हैं, उनको ये नहीं पता कि कितने medicines देते हैं. It's like an experiment, which was shocking to me. कि कभी ये मेडिसिन ऊपर कर दी तो वो जैसे वो डिस्कस करते थे हमारे साथ कि आपने ये मेडिसिन लिया है तो ये हो गया, तो अभी आपको सीजर आ गया, तो ये मेडिसिन लिया है अभी आपको, तो इसको ऊपर करते हैं, इसको नीचे करते हैं, अभी ये पहले खाइए, ये दूसरी बारी खाए. When we went to the hospital, because of his shoulder coming out, they would first give him morphine in the ambulance, फिर morphine over in the hospital because he was in pain. They send him for MRIs, for X-rays. I think Sachin must have had at least 20 X-rays per year. I don't think you have to go through more than 4 X-rays per year. But because of his shoulder, it was surprising. हम लोग गोल गोल घूमी जाते थे. It was Canada वो बोलते हैं catch 22. Catch 22 means there's no feasible result. ना ये चलता है ना ये चलता है, वो बीच में से लाइन निकलती है. And it's a statement, it's a term we use in Canada. ये तो catch 22 है, कुछ पता नहीं चलता कौन सी बार. So after the morphines, Sachin used to be home for 3 days. Or he had glucose tubes up his way, needle marks, उनके हाथों में needle marks, उनके blood test होते थे every time he went to the hospital. Traumatic, horrible for him, horrible for me to experience what he went through. Every time he came out, it was like जैसे जब मैं उनकी तरफ से live देखती थी, he used to come out and he used to say, I can, when he recognized, he died and he came back, which was shocking to me in my head, कि he didn't recognize me, और ये डर रहता था कि अगर कहीं यहाँ से कहीं जाते जाते गिर गए ट्रेन स्टेशन पे, या ट्रेन से गिर गए, या कहीं ऐसी जगह पे गिर गए कि किसी ने बॉदर नहीं किया. And we are in Calgary, which is -35. It would take him about 15 minutes to leave, to have hypothermia and die. So it was ambulance की जो आवाज आती थी ना, my whole body used to shake. And the first thing I would do is call him. Sachin, are you? तू पहुंच गया? Are you okay? Are you sitting in a safe place? So it wasn't just him. It was both of us that were in. जैसे जेल होता है ना, it was nearly like that. Traumatic for Sachin, and extremely traumatic for families of people who are going through this. And I think if there's an alternative to this, it should be a human right of every person around the world to know that these medicines exist and should be taken, because it's horrible for the person who's going through these seizures and for the family members. And I can't imagine what's happening out there. I cannot imagine what's happening out there. जिनके seizures होते हैं, उनके जो आसपास लोग होते हैं, it's like a war zone. उनकी जो stress level होता है is as high as when you're in a war zone. And I have felt days and days of that. And all I can say is it's been an incredible journey into Rishikesh, into Neeraj Clinic. Being here has been very peaceful. We've been looked after beautifully. Mr. Sani has been fantastic. The staff has been really, really loving. Very, very nice. And we are happy to have met you. Thank you again. Absolutely.